I said, you have a right to spend your money any way you like, especially when it comes to supporting political causes, studies, candidates, anything you want. You've got that right. But you got to be upfront about it. That's the one little wrinkle that I find. It's just to keep everybody honest, I think we should have this thing called full disclosure as a way of exposing any potential self-interest. I am sick and tired of everybody saying, oh yeah, we're fair and balanced. Yep, that's me. That's bull crap. I tell you right out in the front, I am not a journalist, I'm a commentator. I am not somebody who hasn't made up my mind on things. I'm passionate about the things I believe in. I am a conservative. I am fair, but biased. I look at the things through the prism that I just explained to you, and it's time that we all started to admit to each other where we're coming from. Which brings me to a study that was put out in 2006 by the Lancet Medical Journal. It claimed that 650,000 people were killed as a result of the invasion of Iraq. Do you remember this? I couldn't believe it. It was a fact that was beat into the ground by everybody from Rosie O'Donnell to Osama bin Laden. The real story is the study was partially funded by liberal anti-war billionaire George Soros. Oops. Looks like we do have agendas and specific points of view. I confess mine all the time. When will somebody else start to do it? This study came out, it shocked a lot of people, because the claim was reportedly 10 times higher than most of the consensus estimates of the number of Iraqi war dead. The degree of the discrepancy suggested to some, including me at the time, it had to be flawed or it had to be biased. Something was wrong. Well, after a bit of digging, it's now been discovered that Soros provided almost half of the study's funding, $50 of the $100,000. Let me stop right here. Any liberal that says to me, oh, well, that's no big deal, then talk to me about the energy companies financing anti-global warming studies. It's bad science and it's intellectual dishonesty. It would be one thing if Soros funded a variety of projects from across the ideological spectrum. But Soros and his Open Society Institute, his Campaign for Progressive Future, Democracy Alliance, Media Matters, MoveOn.org, Center for American Progress, and Democracy Now!, just to name a few, are all 100% liberal or, progressive in their agenda. A noted economics professor from the University of London said that for many, Soros's funding would have been a disqualifying factor in terms of publishing the research. Perhaps he only meant those with integrity. Neil Monroe is with the National Journal. Whew, I'm all fired up, Neil.
Good for you.
I mean, this thing was quoted by our enemy, Osama bin Laden. It was drummed into the minds of the American people by the media. Rosie O'Donnell she's actually said it was more than 650,000. And now it is true to so many people all around the world. And it was clearly an agenda.
People do choose to believe what they want. And the study was partially funded by George Soros. That's all true. And if you scratch away deeper into the study, you'll discover it has actually real scientific problems.
Okay, wait, hang on. Before we get to the scientific problems, you say that it was partially funded by George Soros, but there were also two other people that we don't even know who funded, right?
Yes, I asked the guy who commissioned the study who else funded it, and he said one donor who preferred to remain unidentified and one donor he does not know the name of.
Okay, so tell me the other scientific problems with this study.
Okay, when you do a good scientific study, you show people what you've collected and how you've collected it. And your people, the collectors, are good and reliable. This study, the guys in this study, have not shown the forms and the data and the sheets collected by the surveyors who worked for an Iraqi without U.S. supervision. This particular Iraqi was once employed by Saddam Hussein, where he produced crummy scientific papers as part of Saddam's effort to lift economic sanctions in the 1990s. Now, I cannot say that this guy is wrong or biased or his figures are wrong. All I can do is show you problems, and it's up to you guys to decide whether you can trust this study or not.
That's all, and that's the only point. Look, you can think I'm full of bull crap, but at least I will tell you that I'm a conservative. That's the way I'm viewing it. That I do have an agenda. It is a conservative agenda. That's all you need to know. And then you as a viewer can take what I say and say, well, that's full of crap, or maybe not. That's what you need. But there is nothing in this. Now, Soros's people have come out today and said, oh, now, wait a minute. He may have contributed money, but it's not like that. And we're only keeping things secret on why or who this doctor is, not letting him talk to anybody because of his life being in danger. Do you buy any of that?
Well, I can't refute it. Iraq can be a dangerous people for political participants and for non-partisan scientists. But I would like to know more. I'd like to be able to talk to him.
He doesn't. He also says that they've never tried to influence the election. But didn't you say that they, as part of the condition of giving this study to this organization, that it had to be published before the election?
Yeah, they made it clear they wanted this study published before the election. However, they have not said they wanted to change the election results. But one of the authors on the results was running for the Democratic Party seat in that year.
Okay, Neil, thanks a lot. That is the real story tonight. If you'd like to read more about this, or if you found a real story on your own that you'd like to tell us about, please visit glennbeck.com and click on the Real Story button.